What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's another week of Midweek Madness time. Let's get into it, man. You know what that means? A little bit of force, a little bit of farce. Got my man Ronnie in the house. What's up,
What's up,
Ronnie?
everybody? I lost my breath like right as we went live, so things have been better apparently. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's gonna be another fun night. It's Wednesday. Get into week 8. It's gonna be another fun time. There's no bye weeks this week, so a little bit easier. We still have some more injuries, players. Some top end players going into IR and stuff like that. But it's gonna be another fun week. So I'm excited for you. Excited for it.
I'm ready. So we just don't need to talk about Tennessee versus Bama at all in this entire podcast. I'll leave. Other than that, I'm good.
So basically tonight what we like to get into, so forces and farces is basically the main segment of this show. And what we like to do is basically our top 14 players. What we pick players from QBs, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. We think that'll fall outside the top 14 this week, and then players outside the 14 at their position. That we think could potentially fall into the top 14 or be a great potential buy at the moment or something like that. Those are my forces, because sometimes maybe you're buying a player that you're like, maybe he won't hit this week, but you're gonna miss your opportunity to buy if you don't go get him now. Like, that's another thing I like to mention too.
Yeah.
But then we get into our pizza parlays. Pick 3 teams that you think are gonna win this week, and then we'll build our DFS lineup and we'll try to get out of here quick.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, should be a fun night, Ronnie. We can get right into it right away. We'll just do our forces. We'll go through our forces list.
Let's force it up. May the force be with you, man.
Go ahead, buddy. You're on. I'll give you the floor.
All right. So what do you want me to do? Force quarterbacks?
Force quarterback.
I hit 2. As always, 2, right? As always, if you're watching this, you must understand JC is a conniver, and he picks his players before his guests every time, which leaves us with like 9 of the top 14 players to pick from at each position. I'm exaggerating, but I had to dig deep. It makes it harder on the farces, and those will be fun. But quarterback, I immediately was like Tyler Badgett. The Chargers, I think, are the worst defense right now. They're either worst or second worst against quarterbacks. And Tyson Badgett looked great last week. And you know what? I'm in it for the story. I like to invest in, like, Minshew Mania was amazing the other year, like a few years ago. Keelan Cole, when he had a blow up as a wide receiver, random reference. I love these random players that show up and get an opportunity. And I will try to ride their waves whenever I can because they're typically pretty cheap. He's got a good matchup this week.
Dude, he looked really, really good out there. I mean, he didn't need a whole lot of help with Foreman, pulling the house down,
Yeah, seriously.
Being the running back one this week. But yeah, absolutely ridiculous. But he did enough, right? He did enough to get them down the field for him to score touchdowns. Like, he did enough to move the ball. I think he's a good pickup, especially if you're a Fields owner, right? He could be you're really hoping for him to come off and have a hell of a week this week. Definitely can be possible. I mean, he's got the players there.
He's the quarterback 31, and I looked at him and thought, well, I'd be willing to start him in a Superflex league this week. Like, so he's my first guy. What about you?
Yeah, I like that, dude. He looks really, really good. Like I said, he looked really good. He only had 1 passing touchdown, 162 yards, 24 passing attempts. So I mean, not too shabby, not too shabby. So I went with somebody who's been very blah. Per se, he's always been that guy who kind of finishes in the top 15, maybe 16. I went with Derek Carr. I mean, it's not great. It's not beautiful, but he gets the Colts this week. And I think that game it's kind of a game I might be targeting, especially in fantasy, maybe DFS. That might be a game that we target today. Against the Jags, he put up 20 points. Against the Texans, he put up 19. But like I said, he's just that mediocre guy. But I mean, last week he looked pretty decent, man. He was making things happen. And here's my kind of reasoning behind it. Week 1, T-Law, QB8, Stroud, QB13, Lamar, QB3, Stafford, QB15. So T-Law again, QB11. I mean, so you got guys in there that can finish in that top. I mean, probably not going to be great, maybe QB 13, but he's a guy that I think that's outside of the, top 14 that can finish in the top 14.
Yeah,
I mean, he's way out there. QB 22 is what he's ranked right now. I threw Gardner Minshew in there too. I mean, like I said, there's no bye weeks this week, so you're really getting cute if you're starting someone like that. But maybe in the super flex, if you need someone like that, maybe you have somebody that's hurt, or you drafted, you went late on quarterback or something like that. So I think Minshew this week, he might be somebody we might want to think about because he's probably still super cheap. I mean,
yeah, definitely. He was one of the guys that I thought of, and then I saw him on your list, so I had to skip him.
Oh, I mean, he was usually anytime I put somebody that's second on there. I mean, if it's somebody that you like, it's better because then we can both talk about it.
Well, he was definitely one of my guys, so we're in flux on Minshew for sure.
Yeah, Minshew's been good, dude. I think this is the time, dude. I think it's time to buy in on Minshew mania, dude. Like, Richardson's out for the year, so I mean, or he's on IR. I mean, but I think that this is the time to buy in. We saw what he did. I mean, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. I mean, obviously he's going to make mistakes. He's still, not a starting QB in the NFL. He's a backup, and he's had the opportunity to be a starter, but he looks great, man. He looked really, really great last week.
Yeah, well, I'm into it. I saw that Michael Pittman was a little bit of a squeaky wheel, complaining about his targets, and recently that's worked across the board in the NFL. So I made a joke to Frank Emirante on Twitter and called Josh Downson target or down in targets. And I think that might happen this week. But even still, I think Josh Down in targets is going to be a force guy for me if I had to pick one.
Yeah, Downs. Yeah, I think so too. I put him in there too late. If you have him in there, that's perfect because I love that pick for wide receiver. We can get right into wide receivers.
Well, let's go. Hold on, my boy down here in Atlanta, Desmond Ritter's playing the Titans, who are, I think, a mediocre defense statistically against the pass. However, they just shipped off Kevin Byard. The secondary is going to have a couple wide open funnels in it for him to throw to, and he's starting to heat up hilariously. And I always harken back to Jeff DiMatteo's preseason model. Last year, it had Geno Smith as the quarterback 7 or quarterback 8, I think, right before the season started. I think Geno was quarterback 9, and he sent it to a few people, and they're like, "That's stupid. Your model sucks." It doesn't. Desmond Ridder was a top 10 quarterback in that model this year as well. And I think we might start to see that come to fruition, which, if it happens, is wild. So he's got a good matchup this week, and I think he's going to get up there.
I'm going to owe Greg a lunch. That means I got to owe Iggy lunch too, because Greg said he was going to buy both of us lunch. And then since I have to buy him lunch,
I think it's lunch. 4th straight game with 250 yards, something like that. Something crazy.
He looked so bad to start the year, and all of a sudden he came on. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's really crazy, man. If you would have took the over on his yards this year too, the over under on his yards, I think before the season started was like 25-50, and he's gonna go over that for sure.
Yeah, for
unless
sure.
he gets hurt or anything like that. But
yeah, and hopefully he doesn't. But I think I like him. So which position you want to move to next? Wide receivers?
I mean, we can get into running backs. We had a segue, but then we want to jump back into wide or QB. Yeah. So I'm good with. Let's just jump into running backs. I mean,
you want to go with me?
Running backs, go for it.
I had a James Cook, and I got to eat crow a little bit here. I even was on one of your shows with Tyler at the beginning of the season and made some jive comment. It was like like running backs like James Cook and DeAndre Swift. Those guys are easy for me. I'm just like, they're too small to get hurt too much. I don't like them. It's stupid. They're both great for fantasy. And James Cook, he's been a little up and down recently, but he got the touches back last week. Got a great matchup this week going up against the Bears. I don't really need to say much else besides that. And I'm into it. He's running back 22 right now on projections and consensus ranking. I think he should be a bit higher.
No, I agree with you, man. James Cook looked really, really good last week. And I had him in a lot of lineups. I had him in a lot of DFS lineups. I'm happy with that, especially against, a strong New England team. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Should be an interesting week this week. You think of Tampa Bay?
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope that he can blow them up, dude. I mean, he should be able to. He looks really good last week. I'm excited for his future.
He's got Chicago this week, I think. Did I have that wrong?
No, yeah, you're wrong. It's Tampa. He's got Tampa this week.
Damn it.
It might be a tougher matchup, but it's okay.
That is
I
a
think
lot
he
tougher.
still does well. I still think he does well. James Cook, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, Dalvin Cook, we don't know where he's going now. You see he's on the trade block. You see that? They just they're offering him out there. They're putting him up for trade. So we'll see if a team wants to come pick him up or anything like that. But I'm sure they're gonna have to eat some of that, contract.
I'm thinking right.
No team.
Right. I can't let my brain go into that. I hadn't read that news yet, so I just immediately started thinking about options for him. Who's your running back?
So I took two. I went with Deonta Foreman. We obviously saw how dominant he was last week, but he looked really, 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 really good coming in, filling in, and especially with the backup quarterback. And man, he gets the Chargers this week, who are just giving up a lot of good weeks to running backs, dude. You got Mostert week 8 or in week 1, which he wasn't doing so hot yet until week 2. That's when he really took off. RB18, Derrick Henry RB13, Madison, who we already know is terrible, RB10, Jacobs RB3, Pollard RB11, Pacheco this last week RB11. I think that with what Foreman did last week, if he can do half of that, he's still going to be a top 14 running back this week.
Yeah,
good matchup. I think this could be another fun, big scoring game too, because the Chargers like to give up a lot of points too. They're another offense that give up or defense that give up a lot of points. And my other one here is Gibbs. I just think Gibbs. He looked really good this last week. He gets a pretty good matchup against the Raiders.
Finally.
I think Gibbs. He's gonna. We don't. So Montgomery, I think, is supposed to be out again this week. And if he is out, even if he comes back, I think they ease him in a little bit. And I think Gibbs, even watching the game last week, man, he looks explosive.
Yeah, he was doing every touch this whole season.
A ton of work.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
Yeah, he's really good, dude. He came on slow, but obviously Montgomery came on.
He didn't come on slow. He just wasn't getting the touches, but he was averaging
that's more what I meant. His yards per carry were great. It was almost like 7 yards per carry. He was doing, not a lot of opportunities though, and opportunity means a lot. This past week, dude, he went off. 58 yards through the air, 68 on the ground, and that was only on 11 carries. So that's hella good. 6 yards per carry or more. That's nuts.
I'm into it. I'm all about Jahmyr Gibbs love. I'm
9 catches, dude. PPR, you're loving that.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right. So did you have any other running backs you wanted to get into?
No, just one. And full disclosure, I was really busy today, so I got my homework.
No, you're good, dude.
Like 30 minutes beforehand.
I said we're gonna get through this real quick today. I wasn't feeling the greatest today, so I slept almost all day today. It's crazy. It's becoming winter here in Minnesota, so it is
getting chilly, man.
Dude, it's bad. But anyways, let's get into some receivers.
Yeah, I love mine. Just because he's doing it, and he's got a great matchup. Zay Flowers is the dude in Baltimore, and it's great. He's incredible. He's had a little bit of an up and down season, but not recently. And the Cardinals are the 4th worst defense against receivers. That team stinks. They're playing above the pay grade to start off the year. Sure, whatever. Fire up your Zay Flowers this week. He's going to be great. I think.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, Cardinals are a team you want to exploit with some receivers, and Zay has been really good this year. Lions were pretty tough last week, but man, he put up 17 points the week before. He has been pretty damn good. It's nice to see him come on strong, as a rookie.
Yeah, he's been as advertised. He was a lot of people I trust loved him preseason. I loved him in the draft process, and it's nice to see it come to fruition there.
So I took somebody that we kind of saw come on. Obviously we saw injury happen to Mike Williams. Josh Palmer, he's been coming on kind of strong and been, one of the bigger targets. Keenan Allen, obviously, we know is the number 1 target on that team. But there you go. Palmer, man, he's looked really good against Kansas City last week, 133 yards on 5 catches. Give this man a touchdown.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, It's what he did at Tennessee too. I mean, he hit a stretch where he scored a lot of touchdowns, but for the most part, he was the daddy in college. It's like a term they use. I'm not joking. Like the Tennessee football team and fandom has like a daddy receiver every year. It was Juwan Jennings a few years ago. It was Josh Palmer for a year. It was supposed to be Brew this year. Terrible injury, but he's good and he's getting the targets. It's just the two ingredients you need. You throw in a good quarterback behind it. And yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, he's not practice. He didn't practice today, but I bet he plays. I'm betting he plays.
Probably had to take a rest day after carrying that team.
So there was another receiver that we kind of both talked about, and Josh Downs. I mean, this kid has been super explosive too, man. There's another rookie right there. That's just
two little guys right there, man.
I like him a lot this week. He was the alpha last week. I mean, obviously you talked Pittman was, a little bit upset about not getting his targets, but he had one huge target, right? 70-yard catch. So, I mean, that's really what saved his day. And we'll get into him a little bit later because he's going to be on my farce list. But yeah, I think Downs is somebody that could be, in this game, he could be really, really good. They get the Saints. You think Pittman will probably get Lattimore. I think that teams have been exploiting, the other side of that Saints offense or defense, excuse me.
Yeah. I don't know I haven't done too much diving into the Saints defense, like statistically. I know that they're an overall decent unit, but
they are.
I think you hit the nail on the head. You can often identify teams like I love going back to the Seahawks years ago. You never wanted to play against the Legion of Boom, but if you could predict who was going to be on Richard Sherman's side, it was a safe bet to go ahead and fire up the other guy if you had to. Feels like a similar situation here. Not as good of a defense, but yeah, Lattimore, Pittman, they'll handle each other, and then hopefully Downs is running slants and crossing routes across the middle of the field, doing his thing, and he's good, real good.
What's up, SoCal? SoCal's working, I believe.
Oh, nice.
He said he's got Johnson and Devonta Smith this week. Oh, nice. Devonta Smith must be his FARCE player. I want, or maybe not, because Devonta Smith has been struggling, so he might be outside the top 14 if I believe it. All right, so yeah, I mean, I like Downs a lot this week. I think he's going to be explosive. I think that he might be. I mean, we could even stack them and hope for another big week. I mean, there's so many options this week. It's crazy.
Yeah. I love my tight end though. Josh Downs, Josh Mounds, he'll be fine.
He said
Kincaid's finally here. I think it's great. All this Sam Laporta nonsense. The real king has arrived. No, I'm just joking. Sam Laporta is great, but Kincaid, especially with the Knox injury, I'm in.
Yeah, I agree, man. Kincaid looked beastly last week. He was the number one target on the team. Or he at least was the number one, recipient of catches and yards. He was the number one producer in points for fantasy on that team. And he's the reason why, Josh Allen had an explosive second half, so Kincaid, Knox is out. He's on IR too. So this is a great time. He was probably one of the biggest pickups of the week, and I'm sure he was out there on waivers. He might still be out there on waivers, and it's a good time to go pick him up because he's the guy. Another guy we could kind of talk about that you could do that too is Trey McBride. So Trey McBride is a guy that will be a beneficiary of Zach Ertz going on IR. So he's another person that I would think about maybe picking up right now because his targets did go up last week. And
the reports today are that Kyler was taking first team reps.
Yeah, and he will definitely be targeting Trey McBride.
Yeah,
I think this is a good opportunity. Another guy to go pick up, and so we'll get to my guy. I think I just swung too early last week I took Michael Mayer last week, and Hoyer absolutely decimated that team last week. He looked so bad, like he didn't do anything good or helpful to help anything on that team. But I think that Michael Mayer, he's been getting he still had the most targets on the team between all the tight ends. So I like him a lot this week. They get the Lions this week, and I think it's a big bounce back week for Michael Mayer. I think he gets back up into 12 points this week. I think. By the way, Jimmy Garoppolo should be back playing this week. I don't
big component of it.
If he's back, I think that these guys, everyone gets back because everyone's talking about how bad Adams has been. I mean, Adams has been, bad because, nobody's been really been able to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
The rookie quarterback's been there, and then you also have, Hoyer, who was absolute trash this last week. I think Michael Mayer has shown us now that, he's when he's getting the opportunities, he is producing. I like him a lot. I think he's another guy who'll start coming on here soon as a rookie tight end. And it's crazy because we've had a lot of a lot more stuff happening with tight ends this year than we, as rookies than we've seen in many years. And it's really good to see that position, starting to hit. So you can start, planning for this. These are guys that you could probably get really cheap right now if you want to.
I think so.
Anyways, let's get into our FARCE players. If you have anybody else at tight end.
Nah.
Yeah, I just like the Trey McBride ad. Like if you can go get Trey McBride right now, I think that's a good opportunity to go get him right now. All right, let's get into some of our FARCE players. So FARCE are like we said before, FARCE players are the players that are outside the top or inside the top 14 that we believe that will finish outside the top 14.
Yep.
All right, so let's get into our quarterbacks.
All right, Joey Biscuits. I actually threw him in because I picked him the first time we did this, and I feel like I hit on one of my takes on him, and then I also contradicted myself, and so I technically missed on the take. So with him, though, Niners, they've got 2 in a row that they've lost. This team is probably going to show up I don't expect this team to lose 3 in a row. And on top of that, they're good. I think Burrow has looked great recently, but he's been still up and down. And he's quarterback 9 right now, projections-wise. I think he's got a great chance of finishing outside of the top 12 this week. And so that's kind of why I grabbed him.
Yeah, I mean,
and you picked your guy before me, and
Russ.
You have to go pick one.
I think there was some other players in there too that weren't too bad. So I took Russ. Now we'll look at somebody else. I think Russ is just this team is in shambles, dude.
Yeah,
Russ. He's only throwing 1 touchdown this last week. They got Green Bay, who isn't, I wouldn't say they're top-notch defense. I mean, they're all right, but I mean, come on, couldn't even. He can't get over 200 yards again. It's getting to be ridiculous. 1 passing touchdown. Javonte Williams couldn't get it as much going as we wanted him to do. It's just like there's a lot of things that aren't happening. Cortland Sutton just had his day saved, obviously from the touchdown. So this team,
you don't have to tell me, man.
Kansas City too, which is a tough. What's up?
You don't have to tell me. I mean, I'm a big Russ fan, and it's been rough.
So Kansas City, man, they've been shutting down some quarterbacks. I mean, I just feel like Goff. Quarterback 18, T-Lock, quarterback 32, Fields, quarterback 24. Wilson was the only one who had a decent, or him and Cousins had decent weeks. QB 14 from Zach Wilson. Cousins had a QB 10, but then Russ, he's already played against him, finished QB 23. And then Herbert, QB 21. So, I mean, there's no way he's going to do any better. If he does it better this week, and I'm wrong about this, I mean, I'll come out and say I was wrong, but there's no way. I mean, they've already shut him down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that. I think the Chiefs have a really good defense. So
they got Taylor Swift.
Their passing defense, they got the Swift vibe going on. Yeah. I hate to agree, but I do agree with that one.
SoCal says Stafford's going to be his FARCE QB. All right, let's see. Let's get into our running backs. FARCE running backs.
So easy for me. I know we had that one weird week, but Detroit's just locked down running backs for the most part. Josh Jacobs looked not great recently. Neither has the offense. We just talked a little bit about that. Blah, 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 blah. All I put in my notes was no. He's the running back 12. He's right on that cusp, and I just was like, that's an easy one. This guy, the matchup, the situation. Don't think it's going to happen this week for Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, matchups are I guess it really depends on, if Jimmy G comes back and he does enough to, for Jacobs to start getting things going, like that offense has not been moving, and that's the issue. What's up, Farquad? If they can get things moving, then I think that's when Jacobs can get moving again too. I mean, I agree with you here. This could be, and it's not. So when we talk about FARCE players, this doesn't mean don't play them, right? It just means use caution, right? They potentially could be a trap week or a week that potentially, they don't finish inside that, what you drafted them to be or what you are expecting them to be now over the past, 7 weeks that they've been doing. So like, and there's another player that like I'm taking here is Brian Robinson, right? Brian Robinson has had some decent games, but I wouldn't say he's been great, man. He's had 1 week where he's had an RB1 finish overall, against Denver. So I mean, maybe fire up Pacheco this week, dude. Maybe he's the player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona RB15, another defense you can exploit. And Philly, that's a tough matchup, but he did good there. But this is a week, he gets Philly again. He could finish, RB15, but right, that's outside of our top 14. I think that he maybe finishes a little higher than that. RB18 is, I think, where he finishes. So, right, he's an RB2. He's still playable, but he's not inside the top 14. So, and he's ranked as an RB1 right now. So I don't think he finishes as an RB1 this week.
I'm into it. I think it's a fair play. I
don't Philly, man. It's still Philly. They're in Philly. Or no, sorry, they're in Washington. So I mean, it's still, they might do all right, but it's still Philly. Dude, Philly's so good.
They're really good. And I saw that and I thought it was Bijan at first, and I was like, ha. But
there you go. SoCal said the same thing as you, bro.
Hold on.
He said Jacobs was his as well.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup.
It's a tough matchup. All right, let's get into some receivers.
All right. Let me pump up the energy here real quick.
Pump up the jam.
Pump up the jam. Whether it's Tyreek playing or he's out and it's Waddle, whoever Bill Belichick decides to try and erase from the game, I think he might be successful in doing it. I know it's not I'm not saying Tyreek, if he plays, can't finish as a wide receiver 1, but he's like the dude. Like every week, he's the wide receiver 1. I don't think that happens against New England. And if it does, I'll be shocked. And if he's out, I would say the same thing about Waddle.
Dude, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they need to be sitting Tyreek this week. Get him healthy. I mean, he's been used so much. I mean, he's got a lot of yards on him already this year. So I mean, it's just like keep him healthy, especially if you want to get to the playoffs, especially if you want to win in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
You need him, and it's a good play, man. They're both good wide receivers that we know are explosive, but the matchup is tough. It is very, very tough this week. Gesicki revenge game,
maybe.
I like it, dude. Maybe we can get another terrible gritty. Oh, I think I called it the damn it. What did I call it? Somebody put it up the other day. Or Marcus Grant put something up. Yeah, no, it was something else. The grumpy is pretty funny though. Oh, the griddle is what I called it.
The griddle. I like that. That's pretty good.
Oh shoot, man. All right. I mean, so
for who's your wide receiver
is Michael Pittman, and I think that, I mean, we talk about too. I mean, he's just been kind of he's a thorn in the side right now, right? He's upset about target share. I mean, Downs has been the guy who's been benefiting from Minshew coming out, and his whole mania going on last week. Downs was the beneficiary of that. Pittman had one massive, 70-yard catch and run. Like it was explosive, but that's where he got all his points this last week. And if he didn't have that one catch, he would not even been close to what he was ranked this past week, right? So I got, just kind of, beware of Pittman. I think he can still do all right. I mean, he might get a lot of of Lattimore. He might get a lot of more shadowed by Lattimore a little bit more, but I still think that he can still do all right, right? He just has to, we see what he can do, right? 70 yards is a lot, is right. That doesn't just happen.
But, he's good. I mean, he's always liable to break.
Without that, it's 13 yards, dude, on one catch, right? He had 2 catches last week, 83 yards. Like I said, take away that 70-yard and 1 catch, and gross. And the touchdown's gone. Gross, dude.
Yeah.
He'd be at 2.3 yards or 2.3 points. That's what he would have finished with last week.
So my question for you, though, is how does Gardner Minshew be a force, but his number 1 receiver be a farce?
Because I think Downs can be a guy that's explosive. Downs the beneficiary. And then, you know what, we could get some catches, you know, from your running backs here.
All right. I think that's fair.
Pittman gets shut down. I mean, here's the thing, though. I'm not saying don't start him, right? He is still good. He has been good with Minshew. He has finished in the top with Minshew. I mean, last week, or not last week, the week before, he had a really good week with Gardner Minshew, right? He put up, you know, wide receiver 9 points. I mean, that's what he finished with against Jacksonville. So I'm not saying he's not good with Minshew. I'm just saying that the matchup is a little bit tougher. I love your picture, dude. It's so good. So let's get into some tight ends.
All right. Full disclosure, I was vaping, and my mom doesn't like it when I vape on camera. And every once in a while, I can hear her in the back of my head. I'm like, all right, let me just shut up on camera for a second.
SoCal says he doesn't think that Green Bay lets Addison do what he did last week. Well, Addison also prevented an interception this past week and made it into a touchdown. So there's always that too. I don't know if you saw the game, but yeah, Cousins threw an interception. Addison was behind the receiver, and he legit took the ball out of the cornerback's hands and then ran into the end zone for 20 yards for a touchdown, dude.
Oh, I did see the highlight of that. I didn't watch the game, but yeah.
That should have been an interception, man.
He's great. I don't know.
Really great.
I don't know. I'm not betting on anything with the Vikings right now, so I can side with SoCal on that.
He is great, man.
I'm really good.
So happy.
All right, real quick, tight ends. I hate to do this. Logan Thomas. He was my guy the first time we did this together, and he smashed. He was tight end 3 on the week. I don't like the Philly matchup. He's been up and down recently. His quarterback stinks. He's not playing good football at all. And despite some of the fantasy finishes this year. So, I don't know. He's tight end 12 with projections, and I think he might finish outside the top 15 this week.
Man, it's so hard to hear you say that. He's your boy.
I know. Thanks.
It's crazy though. You did call that week where he just went absolutely bananas, and that was fun to listen to. So my FARCE tight end is Cole Kmet, who is tight end 9. It's just do not start him right now with what's his name, Tyson Badgett.
Tyson
He is not targeting his tight end. I'll tell you that he's not. So he didn't get no points last week. Nothing. He did nothing last week against the Vikings. He only had 2 catches for 9 yards. I do not start him until Fields is back. He was really, really good with Fields. So I am just avoiding him until Fields is back. End of story. It's easy enough. And this week he'll go bananas probably against the Chargers.
I don't think so. Maybe. Probably. I don't know.
He says, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe, maybe not. I want to see what they are against tight ends. I have it right here. Let's see. Chargers. I mean, they give up 7 points on average to tight ends. Nah, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
I mean, I'm into it. I mean, I think that Kmet up and down, totally relying on quarterback play and especially quarterback targets. It's true for most tight ends, especially Kmet.
I do like Badgett though. I like him.
Oh yeah, I tried to whip up a image of Badgett for this episode and just couldn't find any great images of him without his helmet on.
Man, Adam Rank posted something about Badgett and having him and Fields, and I was like, dude, quit bragging, dude. We in Minnesota can't draft a quarterback to save their lives.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then you guys have 2 of them. Stop it. Just don't. Can't do that.
Don't be a braggart.
All right. So we're gonna get into making our DFS lineup. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. This is the fun part. This is where it's a little bit more fun.
I'll be right back.
A little less statistics, and then we're going to talk about our pizza parlays too. So if anybody wants to get into the chat, anyone that's listening, get your pizza parlays in. Basically, what a pizza parlay is anybody that's a bettor, you pick 3 teams to win, right, against the money line. So that just means whatever team wins that game, right? So just pick 3 teams that you think will win this week, and then build your pizza. So basically, whatever 3 toppings if you were to have a pizza tonight, if you were going to go home and make a pizza, or if you're going to order pizza tonight, what 3 toppings would you put on that pizza parlay? So 3 teams that you think are going to win this week, and then build your pizza. 3 toppings. All right. So, and we'll get to ours at the end, but we're going to build the lineup, and then just so that people can start putting their pizza parlays in the chat, while we're going. So, yeah, so I'm gonna build this. We were talking a little bit earlier. So if anybody hasn't played on DraftKings before, you have a salary cap of $50,000. So that's about $5,500 per player. Hey,
sorry about that.
I just got. Oh, you're good. I was just explaining to pizza parlays to everybody that's out there. So get your pizza parlays built, everybody. Dude, your be right back sign is the best.
I'm glad you love it, man. I was on like a show with you, I think, and it was a spur of the moment thing. I was like, I'm gonna go.
It's too good. I want to see what Minshew is. So Minshew's at 5,400. Tyrod is down here. They got the Jets though. 5,300. Ritter's way down here. If you're excited about him.
Hold on one second.
If he's like, I mean, he has put up some big weeks.
Let me pull up my notes here. I got a sorry, I wasn't prepared for this
Minshew, I do think I'm gonna end up playing Minshew in one. I mean, I obviously play in multiple different DFS. I'll get multiple different DFS lineups in. I actually play in 4 different tournaments. By the way, we have our own tournament that we do as well. So here we go. Let's build one with Ritter and just see where we're at. Okay.
All right, hold on.
Who would you want to stack? Do you want to stack London with him, or are you ready to trust your coach of the year?
All right, hold on.
Do you trust Arthur? Nobody does. He doesn't care about your fantasy team, he says. He already told us that. Anchovies, dude. Oh my God.
All right, I'm back. What are we doing? Sorry, I was trying to pull up my notes. They weren't there. I'm winging it with you. Let's make this lineup.
Oh, dang it. All right. I got a whole bunch of pens right here. I'm good. All right, let me see. Pizza Parlays.
And we gotta roll the dice.
Oh yeah, you're right. The dice are back. The dice, I forgot. Yeah, get the dice out.
The die. These are cool. We're gonna have to find out who makes these. But anyway,
they were at the expo, right?
Yeah. So what was our parameters last time? We got to go get a top 6 guy for the first.
So if you roll the dice, top player. So roll the dice and see what we get.
All right. It's wide receiver. I can't show you. Can you see? Nope. Can't.
Yeah, not really.
It's wide receiver. Whatever.
But we trust you.
Okay.
All right.
Wide receiver there.
So you can pick. I'm not taking Cup. He's probably gonna have a huge week, but they got Dallas, so he'll probably have a good week. Jamar Chase is there. I would think AJ Brown would be a good pick. I'm fine with AJ Brown here.
Yeah, we got to go top 6. So I don't give a shit.
I mean, he's really good. I mean, not many wide receivers have these games, multiple, over 20-point games or over 30 point games. You know what I'm saying?
Throw AJ Brown in.
So 8,000. That's where we're at. Okay, yes. Roll the die.
Fucking
roll that dice, baby.
Freaking defense. All right, let me go pull this thing up.
Oh, Fish said, I've never tried anchovies. Are you real or are you joking? Farquid says, for real, they're great. See, I gotta try them again.
Anchovies?
Because Gilbert
with you people, those things are gross.
He's all about them too. Iggy,
is he?
Yeah, he loves them.
Yeah. I, as a kid, my grandmother ate them, and she would throw them into our mouth and like slurp them down like in a video, like in a cartoon, and I won't touch them the rest of my life. So I've got a personal vendetta against anchovies.
A personal vendetta against anchovies.
All right, let's go pull up this defense thing, and I'm gonna go pull up
defenses. Let me get DSTs.
The Giants are the worst team against, or the defensive. I'm gonna read you the top 5 teams that are giving up points to defense.
Why don't you could look up
Giants, Commanders, Patriots, Raiders, and Panthers. So we
can
Eagles, pick somebody playing them.
Eagles are playing the Commanders. They're number 1.
All right, fire it up, baby.
Game right there. There's our stack right there.
We're stacking a defense and a wide receiver. It makes perfect sense.
What a hell of a stack.
I'm into it. That's a great one. That's an easy play. I hate that it gave us defense so early.
That's all right. It'll probably give us kicker like 18 times again too.
I know.
It's not good.
Oh, running back. Let's go. All right.
All right.
An easy one.
Is it Bijan? Because I don't know if I start him ever.
No.
No.
I can't trust Arthur.
Scary.
I can't trust him. He trusts me with his children. I can't trust him with my fantasy assets.
Though. Are you just sticking with McCaffrey here?
He's
so are you going? Though. I mean, Kamara's been absolutely great. I like the matchup there.
I actually really like the Kamara play. I would be willing to save the extra 2 on McCaffrey and go Kamara.
All right. I mean, he's with what he's been from when he's been back, man. He has 2 like top 10 finishes since he's been back. It's just ridiculous. Since it's a bye week, man. Or was it? Yeah.
All right. So we've got 5,000 remaining per player. So I think now we've got our 3 key cornerstones. So maybe now we can go fish a little deeper.
All right, roll the dice.
All right. Quarterback. Great. Let's fish deep on quarterback.
All right. Just getting some stuff written down. Let's see here. All right, quarterback.
I already know who. We can pick one of our force guys.
Like, yeah, you said you can go Ritter. There's Ritter there. Ritter is way down here, right?
Yeah, let's just pick the cheapest of our force guys. So it was Ritter, Badgett, and who was your guy again?
I mean, Badgett's probably way down there.
I don't want to play Badgett. I just like him.
Oh, he's probably not on here. What day is that? He's not on here. That's a
okay. Who is your force quarterback? Minshew?
Yeah, Minshew was one. Let's see.
Well,
I mean, Ritter's there. Minshew is up here, though. I mean, Minshew's at 54. Derek Carr was my other one at 55.
I'll throw Ritter because he's the cheapest.
I think I'd rather have the upside of just hoping that Ritter.
Yeah. You can have, you look at it like you're hedging your bet against Greg.
I mean, that's what I said. I said, who was telling me? They're like, I was talking about, I'm just going to start playing Ritter every week. And if I win money, I should just.
Did you start taking weekly props on his
I should
go, so you can make the money the dinner back?
I think it was Tyler's like, you should just collect that. And then you should use that money to buy him dinner. Mm-hmm. The money you use with Ritter winnings.
I love that. Tyler and I are so aligned on so many different things. That's exactly what my head was too.
Right. I think that's funny.
All right. Dice again?
Yep.
Fucking A. We can't play defense in our flex, but that's what we got.
Can't do it.
Okay, let's give ourselves a cop out here. That's too much to play defense in the flex. All right, wide receiver.
All right.
And going back to our force players, I know mine was Zay Flowers. He might be kind of expensive. We also brought up Josh Downs.
Oh, man, I like that play. Let's see.
Is he not on the right day?
Downs should be here. Who else we got?
Man, is Downs way up there?
Downs is at 48.
Okay. We could save a little money with Downs. I'm sure Flowers is way higher. Yeah, he's 56.
Let's see. I don't know.
Well, my move would be to play Josh Downs and Zay Flowers.
Okay, let's do it. Let's just do that.
It keeps us right in budget.
54, right? That down was at 54.
He was 46.
Oh, 48.
48.
Both wrong. Damn.
No, damn it.
All right. Roll it.
Tight end.
Okay.
I don't remember who I had. I had Kincaid in there, and I'm fine with doing whatever.
Let's see where he's at.
Wrong day?
Yeah, wrong day.
Okay.
They play tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Let me go pull up.
Be a good play though. He might be a good captain play though if you play the single game on here.
Yeah, actually, that's a great thought.
All
right, let me go pull up.
Avoiding Jonnu, except he'll probably be like, I'm going back to Jonnu again, letting everybody think that Pitts was going to be the guy and make everyone play him. I'm Arthur Smith.
Let me give you 3 names real quick. Tapping into my pal. Shout out to Josh Larkey over at 30.
SoCal said it. SoCal's the one who said that last week.
All right, here's 3 or 4. George Kittle, Dallas Goedert, Dalton Kincaid, and Trey McBride. Those are Josh Larkey.
Cincinnati, which is the worst team against tight ends.
Who?
Let's see. Kittle. So
he's only 54. Technically, we could afford it.
Tight ends. Let's see. Top 5 teams that are the worst against tight ends are the Jets, the Lions, the Broncos, the Rams, and the Bengals. The Bengals are giving up about 7.8 points on average. So to tight ends. Who plays the Jets?
The Walrus.
Maybe.
I don't know how I feel about it. Is Jones back this week? That's what I would want to know.
No,
we could also fire up. I know this is contrary to the matchup, but we could fire up Kyle Pitts, which is available there.
That's what I was just saying. Didn't you hear my little joke? You didn't hear my joke about everyone thinks Jonnu's now kind of down there. Now Pitts is the guy again, so Arthur Smith's gonna start firing it at Jonnu.
Yeah.
Just
I heard that didn't register.
All right, let's see here. Raiders are playing the Lions. That's why I picked Mayer, because they're super bad against them. Broncos. Oh, Jude Kelsey gets the Broncos. That might be the play. Just spend our money on tight end.
Should I ask?
See what we can do. Oof, this is going to be rough. Let's see. Why did it do that?
In the flex?
Yeah, let's see what we can do in the flex to save some money. Probably going to be a tight end. So let's do this. Because 3,200. It's going to be tough. Gosh darn it. So here we got Gesicki, dude. Let's fire up Gesicki, bro.
All right, hold on. Can you do me a favor and just look and see? I'm curious about Romeo Doubs, because it looks like Christian Watson's going to miss. And Romeo Doubs, whatever his name is, crushed this matchup last year and scored a touchdown last week and might get the targets. I'm just curious if he's dirt cheap.
No, he's 4,900. I mean, it's not dirt cheap.
I don't want that.
What running back can we get for cheap? Nobody, probably.
Singletary?
Not for what we need to be looking for. Can't.
It's 44.
So we probably
could fire up Devin Singletary.
Probably can't play Kelsey this week.
Go throw in Devin Singletary into the running back spot. Just keep him there as a placeholder. He's like
44. So, like, if I wanted to start a good tight end, You like Kittle this week. It might not be bad. Schultz.
I love Kittle this week. Absolute smash.
All right, we can do that. We might be able to spend money there because it's not as much, Let's see. So our flex, we're at. I mean, let's see here. Can you get Dobbs now? I mean, you could get London if you wanted London.
That's an interesting one. We could do the London Ritter stack. I'd be kind of down with that, although he might not throw it to him.
You're right. Dude, it's absolutely nuts. Here's Dobbs. If you want Dobbs, we can put him there.
I'm kind of into it.
All right, let's just ride with it. Ritter, Kamara, Singletary. I mean, let's see. Can we put somebody else in there besides Singletary?
Yeah, we can switch up to Singletary. I just think he's going to get an even touch load with.
No, I mean, I just want to see what we could put in there. I mean, it's not really much. This is it.
Oh, you can throw in Royce Freeman, although he's playing Dallas.
No. Yuck. I don't know why we're not firing up. What's his name again? Let's see.
Who?
Let's see. Kareem Hunt's probably going to be started this week. I don't know. We'll probably just stick with what we got. Darrell Henderson. I'm just kidding. We can't afford him.
You could throw in Jeff Wilson. You just take the upside play with Miami.
Let's just put in Singletary. All right, let's add him. All right, let's just throw that in. Bam.
All right, there we go. The dice rule again. Did we win money with the dice roll last week or last time?
I'll have to go back and look at which one we did. I'll have to look. I like the dice one, dude. The dice roll is fun.
It does. It's a nice way to like spice it up.
SoCal said Dameon Pierce week.
Could be.
Could be. All right, let's see here. So let's get some pizza parlays in here real quick. All right, so SoCal, let's see. Farquad said Bills, Saints, Bears. Fish said Chiefs, Ravens, Lions. SoCal said, oh, he wants that pesto sauce, dude. Pesto's so good. Chicken, bacon, and sun-dried tomatoes. Oh, you didn't even give me your teams, though, SoCal. His teams are chicken, bacon, and sun-dried tomatoes. Didn't you know? What do you got for me this week, Ronnie?
I'm going to go Bills win against the Bucks. Cowboys beat the Rams. And I think the Eagles are going to kick the teeth in of the commies.
Eagles. The commies. I like that. I like it. All right.
And
so
my toppings. Can I do my toppings?
Yeah, of course you can do your toppings, brother.
My toppings, as always, are banana peppers, chorizo, and actually let's switch it up and throw bacon in there.
Bacon, chorizo, and banana peppers. I know who would like this pizza because the chorizo would be Coach. He loves them. No spice for Greg, though. He doesn't like any spice. No spice for Greg.
I can't wait to eat pizza with Greg one day because I know I don't have to share mine.
That's true, dude. We should all just get jalapeno. What's up? What's up, Carla?
we go have a pizza night out with Greg, and we get like 3 super spicy large pizzas and a little tiny like margarita pizza for him.
Margarita pizza. Bills, Chargers, boys. All right, my last team. So I'm going Chiefs, Seahawks, Ravens. And let's see, tonight's pizza. Let's do chicken bacon ranch pizza, dude. A little bit of chicken, a little bit of bacon, a little bit of ranch. Some feta cheese, baby. All right. Appreciate you, Carla, stopping by. We're about to get out of here. We kept this short and sweet, dude. We kept it under an hour. I'm so
There we
proud of us.
go. We did it. Well, I appreciate that.
So
This
proud of
was
it.
much less energetic from both JC and I compared to our last episode. JC sounds like he's got a cold or something. I am
I'm not
like
feeling
on
the
4
greatest.
hours of sleep. I've been grinding. I'm busy. I got to go get back to work.
I got to finish editing this video for our intro tomorrow's game, for the game watch party tomorrow, but about halfway through. The longest part is just finding the video content I want. But appreciate everyone for stopping by.
Carla, you can have all the margarita pizza you need.
Dude, good margarita pizza's fire.
Yeah. You know where my first margarita pizza was? A closing note. This is going to sound gross. But when I was younger, my brother and I used to go and have pizza eating contests at Cece's. And
dude,
I would always eat the margarita slices because I could just wolf them down.
That's dope, dude. All you can eat pizza places are the best. We had a place out here called Godfather's. I don't know if you remember that. You ever heard of Godfather's?
Mm-mm.
It was just like an all you could eat like pizza joint, and they just had a couple. I don't know, maybe it's a Midwest thing, but they had the cookie pizza, and they had like you get like the streusel pizza and like all that. Anyways, let's get out of here. I'm hungry.
Well, let's do this again when we're both less busy and more tuned in.
Yeah. Every Wednesday we do it anyways, but this week's been one crazy week. I appreciate everyone for coming by, hanging out with us. Yeah. Peace out.
Good luck this week.
Bye.